Brought to you by Brand South Africa.
The theme of this year's World Economic Forum Africa Summit in Addis Ababa this week is shaping Africa's transformation. The forum says that Africa's frontier markets are fueling a renewed optimism about the continent's future. The 2012 World Economic Forum on Africa is currently underway in Ethiopia. Godfrey Mutizwa caught up with Miller Matola, CEO of Brand South Africa.
As Brand South Africa, we also find that the World Economic Forum on Africa provides an opportunity and a platform to really engage around some of the issues that are central to, all the countries on the continent, but also provides opportunities for actionable ideas to be put forward, and for business and government, for that matter, to engage around issues of mutual interest. So we find that as Brand South Africa, from a perspective of promoting South Africa in the context of Africa, it is an ideal platform and a platform where you can meet with all the stakeholders that you really would like to tell the story of a rising Africa and a South Africa that's making a contribution within that.
Yeah, I dare say, of course, it's becoming easier for you to tell your story because the positivity around Africa is evident for all of us who are here at Addis Ababa to see what's going on in terms of the discussions that are taking place at WEF. But it must be doubly difficult as well when you're talking, when you're trying to improve the brand and the image of 54 different countries with very different policies and politicians that behave the way they like.
Well, it is a challenge, but we believe, Godfrey, that if each of the countries on the continent improve their image, they work on their fundamentals, as we have seen happening on the continent, increasingly you will find the image and reputation of the continent improving. And in fact now, the continent is on a high in the sense that it is considered, a growth frontier, and there's a lot of focus on the continent itself. So in many ways, the change in terms of economic stability, in terms of political stability on the continent, a burgeoning middle class, and I think also the contribution of our resources has increased, the focus of the world and investors on the continent. And I think what we need to do is to ensure that we amplify that story.
Yeah. Of course, we've got these blocks that are shaping Africa. We've got ECOWAS in West Africa. We've got East African Community in East Africa. We've got SADC in Southern Africa. Now, in terms of the platforms that Africa is using, do you see the need perhaps to build one that sort of unifies all of the African continent so we're able to project this one image of a continent as people speak? I mean, if you look at the McKinsey report, they speak about lions on the move, and they're referring to the whole of Africa, which I suppose is a good message for you to be carrying along as well.
It is a good message indeed, and I believe that through the free trade area that's envisaged in 26 countries, so Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, as well as countries within the COMESA grouping, I believe that that is indeed an ideal platform within which we can actually communicate and tell the story of the opportunities on the continent.
Do we have the right institutions, though? Are all those institutions in place, or do we need to create more?
Well, I don't believe we need to create more institutions, but I do believe that we need to strengthen existing institutions, and I think there's a greater focus on strengthening those institutions. The fact that the 26 countries have come together and agreed indicates not only the will, but I think the preparedness to bolster the strength of those institutions and to ensure that whatever decisions are taken can actually be implemented. So I believe it is about strengthening those institutions, it's about giving them more clout, and I think ensuring that they have a lot more influence in making certain that those decisions actually happen.
Behind closed doors, Miller, do you sometimes sit with politicians and try to make them understand that when they make their pronouncements, be it at rallies or at other fora where they speak out of 10 and they speak about, someone says, I would like to nationalize our resources because they are being exploited by imperialists. What sense do you get in terms of communicating them to that message, that we need to be communicating one positive message here?
Well, we do communicate that because we do understand that.
Robustly?
Well, we do. Indeed, we understand that image building is also, impacted upon by pronouncements that might not be based on policy, for an example, or pronouncements that might be considered reckless in the context of what is going on in the world now. So there is a discussion that we have. And as you know, Brand South Africa works with government, it works with business, and it works with civil society. And part of our work is to hold the mirror up to ourselves and say, what are the opportunities, but where are the challenges and where are the impediments to us becoming competitive and building a strong brand? So that's a conversation that is ongoing. It's a conversation that we have.